All right, today we're going to go over the fallout of Norris Cole and Rich Paul. So Rich Paul used to be Norris Cole's agent. We all know Norris Cole used to play for the Miami Heat with LeBron. He got drafted there. I believe he was the 28th overall pick in the first round. Won a championship with Miami. And he discusses how he ended up playing in China. Because he went from winning a championship with Miami to getting traded to the Pelicans, showcase like he improved. He showed he played better, but ended up in China. And Mike Miller and Udonis Haslem asked him about this, and it was interesting. Let's watch.
Wing, 1, 2, 3, trip, boom.
Right, you can forget about it. So I was happy that you got a chance to showcase your game. Obviously, wasn't happy that you left, but I was happy that you got a chance to showcase your game. So I'm thinking this is going to be what it is. You just talk about what was next and how it went after that.
Yeah, cause I'll be honest, like just touching on it, kind of comparing with what you saying there, like you won 2 championships, a vital part of 2 championships.
Yeah,
by the way.
vital part.
People
vital
don't understand
part.
how hard that is, especially as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go there and you expand your game in New Orleans and
Go to the playoffs.
Yeah, go to the playoffs and still win, but get better every year because that's who you are. You're a grinder. You're going to get better every year. I know I'm a college dropout, but the math ain't mathing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so how do you go from 2 championships to expanding your game, get better in New Orleans, and then I look up and you're in
He definitely dropped out. He definitely dropped out.
You know what we always talk about, learning the business of basketball?
Man.
I learned the hard lesson of business of basketball, man. For y'all young fellas out there, when you have an agent, make sure you're involved in what's going on. Don't just let them handle stuff behind the scenes without you knowing. But it was my first time in free agency. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so, I had a powerful agent and I let him do everything, all the negotiations. I didn't even think twice about it. But,
And that's something, if you have that thing, I don't care what it is, your parents, your lawyer when you fight in a case, bro, it's always all hands on deck. This is your life. So I ain't never was an NBA player, but I don't give a what's going on. I'm going to have interest. I'm going to have say so in what's going on in my life. Whether it's my financial advisor, my lawyer, I don't care who it is. I'm going to have something to say. And a lot of us lack this, though. And I've had times where, I just let people lead and don't really have too much to say because you just want to play your lane. You want to, you don't want to rub people the wrong way. And whatever the case may be, I don't want to speak for everybody, but that was just me. But let's see what else Norris has to say.
Did some bad negotiation. Just got caught what it is, and I caught wind of it late, and I ended up firing him. And when you fire a powerful agent, of course they're gonna save face, and that's what happened. And tried to make it seem like I was the greedy one, which in reality I wasn't.
Yeah.
Especially my background coming from Cleveland
Never
State.
seen that in you. Never seen that in you.
And so, that's what happened. So I ended up having to take a deal in China for a couple months. And then, got injured out there, rehab 8 weeks, came back, got a chance in OKC, the Russell Westbrook triple-double year.
Yes.
But it was tough after that because, when someone tries to damage your name and your reputation and they're a person that has leverage and has, is looked at as a powerful agent, it's tough to kind of recover. But I was able to recover and still play, never miss no meals, family and everybody's still good. Pops still retired. I was able to get the house I've always wanted, the cars I've always wanted, things like that. So I was able to recover, but I missed out on a lot because of that. 70 maybe, now I'm in my 12th season pro. I probably missed out 70, 80 million because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to make that up.
Oh, we're going to get it. We're going to get
it. 70, 80 million he missed out on. But there's another guy who touches on this a little bit more. Let's see what he has to say because he touched on it right here.
Wanted the cars I've always wanted, things like that. So I was able to recover, but I missed out a lot because of that. Probably missed out 70 million because of that.
So you heard Norris Cole describing the situation, talking about how his free agency was mishandled, how he lost a lot of money in the process because of Rich Paul and Klutch Sports not prioritizing. He didn't even probably want to be prioritized, but just treated equally as the superstars were. But like I said, from Nerlens Noel, we already heard his story, and he had a lawsuit going against Klutch Sports and Rich Paul, where he stated that
he had a whole lawsuit against them. It was a whole war.
that basically they didn't represent him the correct way. And he lost somewhere around that number as well, which was 70 to 80 million estimated. And that's what was said on that lawsuit. So, it just shows, a little bit of a pattern of not serving people that you sign contracts with correctly and well. It looks like if they're not going to make you millions and millions of dollars, you don't really have their interest at heart, and you prioritize your superstars. But the thing is, if you don't have the personnel and the number of people that can work with these players and prioritize their interest as well as the others, the superstars, if you don't have that and you can't deliver, you shouldn't be getting into it.
So yeah, man, we're gonna end it here, man. Norris Cole, man, I don't know the full ins and outs, but it's a good lesson on just not always. You got to take matters into your own hands and know what you're getting into. I hear all the time rappers signing deals that they don't really understand and just, I'm broke as hell, so I just signed this, not knowing you just sold your whole life away. You hear agents in basketball and in sports. You hear it with lawyers. You hear it with financial advisors, all that stuff. So you got to always remember, never, ever, 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 ever not have a say in your life. I don't care what type of profession it is. You got to go with your gut and your own instincts. So, man, if anything else comes out on this, I will definitely be back to cover some more, man. Zay out.